So today we are discussing about the AWS services and from SQL School, what are all the services we are providing? I mean, what is the all the modules we are providing the training services on? Okay, so let us
Mhm.
have a let us go through them. Okay, so yeah, this is our Sai sir actually. So this is Sharath, senior IT consultant for Python and AWS. Okay, so yeah, let us go into AWS services. So before going into the AWS services, so what is AWS? AWS is a cloud platform. Okay, so actually we know that what is on-premise platform and what is the cloud platform. See, every company will have its own cloud. Okay, its own data center. So such data centers we call them as private clouds. See, now let us take a company like IBM. Okay, IBM will have their own data center. If it is operating from Mumbai, it will have its own data center on Mumbai. So whenever a employee joins in Hyderabad campus or in Bangalore campus, what it will do? It will create the credentials for the new employee for the Bangalore or Hyderabad campus, and it will give the access to the resources that are present in the data center of Mumbai. Okay, so here, though the offering is cloud, though the platform is cloud, what is happening? So he is an IBM person. He is getting access of the IBM data center, okay, which is present at Mumbai location from the Bangalore location. So though it is cloud, the public or the normal people doesn't have any access on that cloud. So that's why we are calling that cloud as private cloud. Okay. And whenever we come to the public cloud, so public cloud is a place where people can go people can go and build their own applications using the resources present over there. Okay, so cloud service, the public cloud services, what they will offer various resources to build our applications, though it may be in terms of infrastructure, or it may be in terms of platform, or it may be in terms of software. Okay, it all depends on what you are choosing. Okay, what service you are expecting from the cloud platform. Okay, in reality here in cloud market we have three giants here. Okay, so three people are the major public cloud providers. They are number one AWS, number two Azure, and number three GCP. Okay, whenever it comes to AWS is the first public cloud that is launched in this world. Okay, it is in 2008. Later, one year later, the Azure got launched from the Microsoft, and a year or 2 years later, the GCP got launched from Google. Okay, so yeah, what is the major difference between these all cloud platforms is that, so though they are offering though they are offering the web services, their nomenclature is different. Okay, we call a server as EC2 in AWS, as a virtual machine in Azure, and as a compute engine in a Google Cloud. So whatever may be the name, but actual work is same. But where is the difference comes? The difference comes at the charging, okay, at pricing, and whatever the models they have, okay, and also how efficient and how high performance and how high availability resources they are offering to people. Okay, so AWS is a web services platform which will offer us so many on-demand services, though it may be the compute server, though it may be the web servers or the compute servers, or the what we call the storage services or the database servers or the network interfaces. Okay, or the what we call access management things. So many services it will offer. In today, almost 200 plus services are offered by AWS. Okay, it has global presence. In India itself, we have two regions. One is Mumbai region, the second one is Hyderabad region. Even in North America, we have more than 5 regions. So here in India itself, in Hyderabad, we have 3 availability zones. In Mumbai, we have 3 availability zones. So like that, so AWS has its global presence. Okay, so what it will do? It will offer pay as you go model, cost effective and also scalable resources to us. Okay, so then we will come to the difference by the various things. Okay, right. What is DevOps? So DevOps is not actually a technology. Okay, it is a culture, or it is, you may call this thing as a set of practices. Okay, where we use so many tools. Okay, some tool you may use for version control, some tool you may use for building CI/CD, or some tool you may use to manage the configurations, or some tool you may use to monitor. So whatever may be the tool you are using, I mean, so it is a set of tools. It is not one tool that will control the whole operation. Okay, more than tool and more than practice, what DevOps is all about? It is all about the culture, how they are, how they are building the things, how they are doing the operations, how they are making the things live. Okay, so here in DevOps also, what we do, we have to build and deploy the applications. So whenever we are building, means usually the developers will build the applications. Whenever they are building and whenever they are giving us the multiple versions of a software, what happens? We need to pipeline them. We need to automate the deployment. So that is the motto behind this DevOps. Okay, the people will be releasing the software in version wise. Okay, today they may release version 1. 2 months later, they may release version 2. Whenever they release version 1 or whenever they release version 2, or else if they give any update, what we need to do to the server? We need to give automated process. We need to build a pipeline where all the sequence of processes are automated. That is DevOps. Then there is other thing people will mostly use, that is data engineering. What is data engineering? So data engineering is one process. Okay, so where we actually go into the data and really watch the insights of the data. Okay, so data engineering usually consists of two processes. One is the cleaning, because whenever we are getting the data from multiple sources, so DevOps and data engineering are two different things. Okay, they don't have any relationship between them. Okay, only few services that are common between the operation. Okay, it is a separate operation and the data engineering is a separate operation. So in the data engineering, what happens? So in the data engineering, we actually collect the data from the various resources, though it may be OLTP databases, or it may be application APIs, or it may be other sources, though it may be flat files or some other thing, or any file system. So we collect the data, and then whatever the data we collected, it is a raw data. We cannot store that data. So in order to structure it, in order to store it, what we do? We do ETL operations on data. What is ETL? Extract, transform, and load. Okay, that operations we do, and then we store it into a warehouse. So that is what data engineering is. So data engineering is all about doing a ETL plus data warehousing. Okay, literally ETL is nothing but data engineering. So for that ETL, we are designing. Okay, we are designing and building the infrastructure using the AWS. So after this ETL process is done, the extract, transform, and load, we also write scripts. We also prepare the scripts in Python to automate, or you can use Python, or you can use the shell scripts to automate these pipelines. Okay, what is the meaning of pipeline? There are some sequence of operations. Those operations you are automating it. So that flow, we are calling it as a pipeline. Yeah. Here. So what are all the career paths we have if you choose data engineering? So we may go for a big data engineer role. We may go for cloud engineer role, or we may go for data ops engineer role, and we can choose data infra engineer role. Like that, we have so many career. We have so many career paths when we choose data engineering. Okay, and then hang on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Right. So if we choose DevOps, so it may be site reliability engineer, or it may be the role of cloud engineer, or you may choose the role of DevOps engineer, or you may choose the role of release engineer, or you may choose the role of CI/CD engineer. Whatever may be the role you choose, okay. So the entire tool set or entire skill set that a particular role which is mentioned over here is required is all given, is all provided by us. Okay, even whatever is required, okay, we provide a 2 or 3 skills more than required. Okay, so these two are the AWS DevOps and AWS data engineer career paths. You can apply for various roles. Okay, even if someone goes through DevOps and data engineering, so what they will do, they can crack everything about the cloud. Okay, so from the SQL school, in our workplace, we are offering 4 modules of AWS. Okay, so now let us go through what is this modules. Number 1. So in the module 1, we may call this thing as cloud essentials. Okay, in the cloud essential, we will the concept of global infrastructure of AWS is covered. Okay, what is the global infrastructure? What is region? What is availability zone? For region, how many availability zones will be there? What is the importance of region? What is the importance of availability zones? All these things will be covered as a part of global infra. And then we will cover the 4 basic services: networking, compute, storage, and IAM. As a part of networking, we will go through the VPCs, the creation of VPCs, okay, the modifying VPCs, and we can connect to VPCs. We call it as VPC peering. Okay, and we can do so many operations. Okay, we can take the public IPs, we can create the NAT gateways. So whatever we want to do, we can do. There are some free services, there are some payable services. We will see the both, the free services as well as the payable services. Okay, and then in the compute section, we have so many compute options in the AWS, like EC2. EC2 is one bigger compute operation we have. It is the elastic cloud server. See everywhere, whenever I am talking about a service, I'm talking like elastic. What is the meaning of elastic? How does an elastic work in the real world? See, now let us suppose our shirt or trouser got an elastic. What happens? It will get expanded whenever we wear it. It will get expanded and fits to our size. In the similar fashion, so here it will automatically get expanded. The service resources automatically get expanded, and they will become the best suited for our environment. Okay, and then in storage we do have some powerful tools. Okay, we got S3, we got a block storage, we got file storage, whatever may be the storage system is present in the world. All those services, all those types of storage systems are present in AWS. And then the last one in the cloud essentials is IAM. So how you will provide a new user? Let us suppose a new user is coming and joining in our cloud network. So how you will provide the permissions to him, how we will provide the username and password to him. So all such things we will see in IAM, Identity and Access Management. So this is Cloud Essentials. That is the basic module about AWS. Okay, and then going forward, we have something like the second module, AWS CP, AWS Cloud Practitioner. As the name suggests, this AWS CP course covers all the syllabus that is required for the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam. Okay, whatever is required for the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam, so all that thing will get covered in this section. Okay, what are all the things we get covered? See, some of the points may got repeated from module 1, but module 2, the cloud practitioner, is much more wider. Okay, we almost cover 25 plus AWS services in cloud practitioner role. Okay, so let me tell you about the global infra. So I just spoke about it. Like in the global infra, we see what is a region, what is the availability zones, how many regions are there, how many availability zones are there, all such things we will see. And then migrations. So we have few tools in the AWS for migrations, like Snowcone, Snowball, CAF. Okay, so we will go through the migration tool, and we will see how the virtual machines from on-premise server or from other clouds will get migrated to the AWS cloud. Okay. Then in the networking, we go through about VPCs, VPNs. Okay, what are all required for CP role, and then we will in compute we see the server architecture EC2 and the serverless architecture Lambda. Okay, and apart from that, we will see the various other services like SNS, SQS. These are all serverless services, and then we can go through the target groups, load balancers, auto scaling functions. All those things are covered in compute module. And then in the storage, we will see what is S3, EBS, EFS, RDS, DynamoDB. Means all types of storage services, though it is object based, or it is SQL database, or it is no SQL database, everything will get covered in storage module. And then AWS offers a 3 or 4 layers of security. Okay, we can have the policy permissions at user level. We can have the policy permissions at object level. So even for the individual server, we have security groups. We have NACS for the subnet level permissions. Okay, so it offers a variety of security. Okay, Even whenever you are using the AWS account, you can activate multi-factor authentication and make use of it. Okay, so all such things, whatever is required for the cloud practitioner exam of AWS. We know the cloud practitioner exam is of 90 minutes time, and it got 65 questions, almost $100 exam it is. Okay, it will be all the syllabus of that AWS CP will be covered in this module. Okay, now going forward, so the module 3, AWS DevOps. So here in AWS DevOps, for certification we have other syllabus, but whenever we go to the market, okay, what most of the people will choose, they are choosing Jenkins and Ansible. They are choosing Jenkins as their CI/CD tool. So that is the reason we have included Jenkins oriented syllabus in DevOps module. We have a Git or GitHub for source code management, or you may call it as version control system, whatever it may be. So Git and GitHub we use, and then we use Jenkins for the CI/CD, and then we use Ansible for configuration management, and then Docker for container management, and Kubernetes to orchestrate those containers. And then yeah, we will go through IAC tool. Actually, some people will include this IAC tool in the cloud admin itself. So, but as we are going as per the certification, I'm including the IAC tool here in the DevOps. So it may be CloudFormation or it may be Terraform. So all these days people are asking for Terraform. So instead of CloudFormation, we are offering Terraform. Now, coming to the data engineering, we have seen what is data engineering. So data engineering is cleaning the data, getting the data, ingesting the data, or extracting the data. After extraction, cleaning, transforming the data, and then loading it into the target. Okay, ETL we called it as. So that is data engineering. So what is the tool we have in AWS for ETL is Glue. Okay, Glue is the tool. We may call it as Glue Studio. Glue Studio is the tool, okay, where we use Python scripts to perform some jobs. Okay, so Glue is the ETL tool that we have in the AWS. You may find similar types of tools in other cloud platforms also, but in AWS we have Glue. And then we have some other tool in AWS, that is Kinesis. What is this Kinesis? Kinesis is a streaming data tool. Okay, I'll tell you a use case. Okay, and then we have Redshift. Redshift is a data warehousing solution. S3 is used for storage. Athena is used for serverless computing, serverless querying. PySpark is used for big data, and Python is required to run the show. Okay, Python is required to go through to prepare scripts or to automate some tasks. We need Python scripting. Okay, so these are all the 4 modules we have: Cloud Essentials, Cloud Practitioners, DevOps, and Data Engineering. And then what is the advantages of this thing? Okay, in AWS, we have tools for everything. To complete entire SDLC, the software development lifecycle, we have tools for them. And it supports both small teams and large enterprises. So we do have cross-platform support. In AWS, we can use 6 languages to build our applications: Java, .NET, Python, Node.js, Ruby, Go. 6 languages we can use. Yes, we can have integrated pipeline. We have a code build and code commit in AWS. So they are used to build and deploy the applications. So you can also integrate with other tools like GitHub, Jenkins, Slack, and also you can integrate with other IDEs such as Visual Studio, Eclipse, So why this IDS means whenever you write some VS code, you need to integrate with them so that it will be easy to create the infrastructure. Cost effective. I told you, pay as you go model. If you use, you have to pay. If you don't use, you don't need to pay. Okay. And then we have ML and algorithms. We have some service like AWS SageMaker. It is some advanced stuff. But yeah, we do have options for image processing, video processing, and also machine learning and AI. Yes, global infrastructure thing we have discussed. So this is one use case of our data engineering in AWS data engineering. See what is happening. I am getting the data from different sources. These two are, let us suppose these two are databases, OLTP databases, and this is APIs, the app APIs. It may be some source files. We are getting data from so many resources. Okay, whenever we are getting the data, this data will be in very large amount. It may be in some hundreds of GBs. Sometimes it may be 1 GB, or sometimes it may be 200 KB only. So we don't know how much data we are going to get. So that data we will store it in one bucket. So in S3, we cannot directly store the data. We need to create bucket. So inside the bucket, we need to store the data. So here what I am doing, I am creating a bucket. I may be calling this as landing bucket. In the landing bucket, what I am storing, the raw data I am storing. And once the data is came to the S3, the landing bucket, what I will use the AWS Glue, the ETL tool. Okay, then the data will be transformed. Then the data will be transformed and it got cleaned and it will be loaded onto the data warehouse, that is Amazon Redshift. Okay, and even you can have another bucket for cleaner data. Okay, so that bucket we call it as curated bucket. In curated bucket, what we will keep, the cleaner data, and you can apply the query serverless query service to get into the data, and you can apply some machine learning algorithm to see the insights of that data. Okay, so yeah, we have told another one called Kinesis, that is streaming data. See, now let us take a example of live cricket. So now Border Gavaskar Trophy is going on. It is coming in Hotstar. Okay, so what this thing is all about? So this thing in sports arena, what we do, we keep so many cameras, we keep so many tracking devices. All these tracking devices will track the data, or else will track the video, and it will supply to the real-time streaming. Okay, so whenever we got this streaming, so on streaming itself, while the streaming is going on itself, we apply various algorithms. We can actually check how the batsman is moving his foot, how the bowler is releasing the ball. All these things we can do in the Kinesis. Okay, and then we can store this raw data for further reference. If you give this raw data to AWS Glue, again this data will get transformed and it will be given to the SageMaker for further enhancement. I told you SageMaker is a ML tool, machine learning tool in AWS, which is used to see the further insights of the data. Okay, so whatever the analysis we made over here, once our analysis is done, it will be supplied to the broadcaster or the OTT people. They will telecast the thing. Okay, this real-time streaming or this real-time analysis is already using, okay, which is in use for Ultra Edge. We are using real-time analysis. For LBW tracking, we are using real-time analysis. All these real-time analysis techniques are already present. We are using. So now this is another use case of what we call the data engineering. See, whenever you go through data engineering, see how many AWS services you are covering. Lambda, step functions, Glue, lake formation is one tool actually. Athena, QuickSight. QuickSight is like, it is a business insights tool. Okay. So yeah. And then pipeline, build, cloud formation. I told you cloud formation is an ASC tool. CloudWatch, SNS, Secrets Manager, KMS, and AWS, IAM. So these are all the tools required. Almost all tools are required to go through the data engineering. Okay. So yeah, this is the data producer. This is called as the landing bucket, where the raw data is stored, and then we will have another curated bucket where the transform data is stored. Okay. Then, so this is one use case for the DevOps. See, whenever you are using the Jenkins, in Jenkins, we have a master and slave configuration. So this is Jenkins master instance, and there may be some slaves which may be running the show from behind. Okay. So what we will do, we will have a load balancer that is attached to the master and slaves. For that load balancer, we have one IP, and by using Route 53, we attach that one name to that IP. Okay, so that is DNS service. Actually, 53 is the DNS name of. Sorry, it is the port number of DNS server. That is the reason they kept Route 53 as the name. And then we can have, this is a bucket actually, so we can keep the log information. This is the access logs, and then we can have an file system. This is the backup taking mechanism, data pipeline and life cycles. And also, if some developers is developing the code and pushing their code to the GitHub, we can actually build a CI/CD pipeline and deploy that code onto the master. Okay, so these many tools are required to build a pipeline in the DevOps. Okay, so so this is another use case of DevOps. So where the people are deploying, I mean, they're developing their code and sending it to the GitHub. Okay, so from the GitHub, the code is coming to the Jenkins for the build and what we call for the build and deploy. And then we are using Docker containers to orchestrate. Okay, so here we are seeing like EKS. So what is this? These are all the clusters of Kubernetes. The EKS means Elastic Kubernetes Service in AWS. Okay, this is a Kubernetes service. They are orchestrating all the containers. Okay, and they will be, and the user will be browsing those what we call so-called containers. And then, yeah, here Terraform is used to manage the, I mean, to create the infrastructure. Right. So how to deal with the data engineering? So whenever you are going for data engineering, Python and SQL, though it may be MySQL or it may be MS SQL, okay, SQL is the prerequisite. Python is a prerequisite for data engineering. Okay, so this course of data engineering will completely cover DEA, Data Engineer Associate exam from the AWS. Okay, it will completely cover the syllabus of Data Engineer Associate. Okay, and what are all the things we required to become a data engineer? Python we need, SQL we need, and then AWS CP. We need to know almost all the things of the AWS CP, and also we need to know about the Glue, Redshift, Athena, Kinesis tools. And once they are done, we will automate the things and we create CI/CD pipelines. Okay, so here we are offering 3 plans. Okay, so the first plan is for AWS CP. It will take only 3 weeks to complete AWS CP, which covers 25 plus services in AWS. Okay, let me give you a small example. On one day, let me put some escape. Yeah, in the recent days, I have covered a class. So you can go through. I'm showing you the live data now. So let us go through the class 15. Yeah. Whenever we are creating the auto scaling group, every day I will give you the notes like this in the stepwise, what we need to do, what we need to create after creation of one thing. See, for creation of auto scaling groups, we are creating VPC and then IGW and then subnets and then routers. So to create load balancer, we need a target group. So that is what I wrote, and then I created the target group, load balancer. And after that, to create auto scaling group, we need AMI and launch template. Step by step, everything is step by step. See, in this class, I have almost covered 9 services. So all these services are already discussed. After discussing all these services in prayer, on the nth day, what I am doing, I am making use of these services to create auto scaling group. I have already covered the creation of VPC, creation of route table, creation of load balance and all, creation of AMI and all. Okay, so like this, every day, step by step procedure is given. Okay, completely practical, complete hands-on will be provided, and whatever I told in the class.
How you are providing access for this AWS access?
So I haven't understood. Actually, access means, see here, what we do. One thing is,
For example, I enroll for 3 weeks AWS CP course. So, for a practical purpose, are you providing any kind of tools, or you are creating?
actually, yeah, Dushyant, let me complete. So AWS is not a tool, actually. It is not a software. So it is a web platform. In that web platform, it is a public cloud. I told you, right, in the initial minutes of our class. So everyone can have their own account. Everyone can create their own resources. So I will guide you to create a AWS account, and also I will guide you to create AWS resources, and also to create in such a manner that you should not get any bill.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so everyone has to create their own AWS account. So it is just like creating a mail account. Okay,
Right.
even in the class 1, I will discuss about the creation of the AWS account only, and then we will go through one after other.
So once I means, for example, I enroll for 3 week this course. So for certification purpose, what material you are providing for CP cloud part? If I enroll for that certification AWS CP on AWS side, so what material you are giving for that?
So one thing, the day-to-day notes we will give, and the day-to-day recordings we will provide. Apart from that, we will provide concept-wise FAQs for your preparation.
Okay.
And on AWS services, I personally prepared a 250 plus questions file. Okay, I will provide that file also. It will be useful for your interviews and also for the certification.
Okay. So every day for this 3 week course, every day you are taking 1 hour, or how is it? Or Saturday,
One
Sunday?
hour, 1 hour.
Every day.
Every day
Okay.
1 hour.
Okay. So what's the charges for that?
That our team will discuss.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to choose for plan B or plan C, okay, enroll for Python and SQL parallelly means you can choose a Python batch in the evening and you can go to the AWS batch in the morning. So that will save your time because Python and AWS don't have any relationship between them. So once we come to the glue, there we will use them combining. Okay, so that is why you can if you want to enroll for plan B or plan C, you can go with SQL and Python in parallel.
Okay.
Okay.
So is there anything related to actually I am from a development team.
Okay.
So after CP course, is there any development course? Because in AWS also there is some different certification for developer. So you have any plan for that?
AWS developer certification.
Yep.
So even for the developer certification also, we use the same thing, right? We are packaging the things and we are using the CI/CD workflows almost. We cover
I think that is
75% of the syllabus over here. And also, I'll go through the syllabus. If anything is uh, out of the syllabus, we will cover that thing also.
that is AWS developer associate.
I know. AWS Developer Associate, and which is similar to this data engineering. It is a 65 questions, 130 minutes. I know about it. Okay, but most of the syllabus what we are covering is covered in AWS
Data engineering.
Developer Associate. Okay, so there also we will have this thing only, this building CI/CD pipelines and developing, optimizing, and packaging, and also we deploy the applications. Okay. Mm.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So see, go through it, and you can check the AWS developer syllabus also. Okay, there also we will you may find the same services. Okay, so you may find this CI/CD tools, you may find this Lambda functions, API gateways, DynamoDB, and the cloud formation, SQS, SNS. Almost same tools will be there. The CLI and all. Okay. Whatever it is there for the AWS developer certificate, everything will get covered in this course.
Yeah. Actually, first I need to do AWS CP. After in second attempt, I want to go with AWS developer. So
Okay.
yeah.
So only in AWS developer, you have something like serverless application model will be there. Management or model, SAM model we call it. Okay, SAM we call it. So that is one topic, and also we got this. We are using this third-party commit, right, for DevOps tools, Jenkins. So instead of Jenkins, you will have code commit and code pipeline and code build from the AWS tools. So that is the only two differences that you will have from developer and DevOps course.
So are you saying that you will cover that also, correct?
So if you are opted for developer course.
Yeah. So you don't have any specific course for that. Right now you are running this plan A, plan B, plan C, correct?
Yeah, for we are running the courses for data engineering and also the courses for DevOps engineering.
Okay, fair enough.
So how we go as per the market need. Actually, the market, whatever the market is required, we go with that.
Yes, correct. Exactly.
So in market, actually, as if you talk about the developer associate, so there are code commit, code build tools are covered. So in market, 95% of the companies will use Jenkins. See, Jenkins is an open source one, and which is very powerful. Okay, flawless, high performance.
Yeah, right now we are using Argo CD actually. So
Argo CD, yeah.
Yeah. So
So when a free tool is available, who will go to the code commit in AWS?
Yes, correct. Exactly.
Then, so that is the reason actually. So we went for that. If you need that particular knowledge, that particular module, we will see.
Okay. So are you providing any kind of dumps for clearing this certificate, and how you are helping for certification clearation?
We will provide FAQs. Even from the portal, you can have the previous questions. Okay.
Yes, that we have. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is what we will do. So even I'll try to keep a mock. Okay, a kind of interview, not the exam. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is what. Yeah, that's what we can do.
Fair enough.
Right.
Mhm.
Fine,
What's your
Dushant. Yeah,
What's your good name?
Sharath.
Sharath. Okay.
Fine, Dushant. If you do have any questions, you can ask me.